Okay, I'm fresh out of the movie theater of Fantastic Four First Steps, and we gotta talk about it. There will be spoilers. So, just to give my quick review on the movie before we get into specifics, it starts slow, and I think that's what a lot of people are talking about. The people that are kind of iffy on if they believe the movie is good or mid, I still think the movie was fantastic, but I can see why people are wishy-washy. It takes a while to get started. Now, I understand the reason, so I don't know if I would really consider this a complaint on my part, because they're establishing this world, letting us know that the Fantastic Four, they got this world on lock. They cook their villains on a daily basis, they're a really tight-knit family, their relationship is strong as hell, they got everything figured out, security on lock, they're really tight with the government, really tight with the civilians, and this is essentially the first half of the movie. So if I had to give an opinion, just shorten that. I certainly, while I was in the theater, I certainly got the message long before they kept kind of beating me over the head with it. Not that those scenes weren't enjoyable, seeing them be a family and seeing how everyone loves them, especially with everyone loving Ben, as we really didn't get to see how depressed he was. We got a glimpse of him not really liking how he looks, obviously, but I'm so used to things being super down with him and him just feeling miserable with his powers. That wasn't the case this time. People loved seeing him and he seemed pretty cool for the most part. And overall, the first half is enjoyable, but I do think it drags. But when it ramps up, it ramps up. So let's get into the exciting parts of the movie. And I have to start with Shia LaBeouf, Silver Surfer. She was amazing. I keep hearing that she was underutilized and wasted. I don't agree. I just don't see it. I feel like the way they used her was perfect for the story they were trying to tell. So, like I said before, spoilers ahead, but she shows up on Earth like you guys have seen in the trailers, and she lets him know, your planet's marked for death. She says that cool line about being the herald of all that stuff, and she leaves. This is when Johnny goes to chase her, she says something in her own language and flies off. And something that really surprised me is they didn't just play Human Torch off as the goofball or the ladies' man, as he was quite intelligent for multiple moments in the movie, like this one, as he takes the one thing she says, plays it back, reverse engineers it, figures everything out on his own without Reed, without anyone else, and he's able to find out that she also sacrificed herself when it came to Galactus so he wouldn't destroy her planet. So the way they get past Silver Surfer in the movie is that once she comes to Earth and just starts messing everything up, stopping their plan to defeat Galactus, he's able to overwhelm her with all this information. What he learned about her past, what he learned about all the people that cried out for mercy, cried out in pain when she picked these planets for Galactus to consume. He's got these audios playing all over the city, something he set up, luring her out there so he can talk to her and get through to her. And it works, and she runs off, and this is when she kind of disappears for the rest of the movie until the very end. And this is where I see the complaints when it comes to Silver Surfer, which I can kind of understand. I wouldn't go as far as to say she was wasted. I don't agree with that. The chase scene alone, where the team has to run away from her and there's nothing they can do, she's just so overpowered. She's phasing through everything. They're in this wormhole that's bending their attacks so they have a hard time hitting her, and once they do, it still doesn't stop her. She's faster than the speed of light, and the only way they overwhelm her is by trapping her in a black hole for a month. That chase scene was very intense, and I think it did a very good job of showing just how powerful the Silver Surfer was. That, along with the scene of her being overwhelmed emotionally, I think these are two really good scenes and two standouts of the movie. The only thing I'd say is that they should have had just one, maybe two scenes of her being by herself, understanding the error of her ways, and then coming to save the day. But after she was overwhelmed by Johnny, she simply left and does not show up again until the very end of the movie to sacrifice herself in place of Johnny. It's like you can kind of feel something was cut out. She just literally disappears and comes back later. And you can get the implication, okay, she understood, we saw her grieving, we understand, but one scene could have fixed a lot of those issues. And if we're talking about standouts in the movie, I understand. See, I've seen people complaining already, I get it. Invisible Woman is powerful and she has always been powerful. But my God, is she powerful in this movie. When Silver Surfer is chasing the Fantastic Four, we got the Thing tackling her through some debris, doesn't phase her. We got Johnny doing what he can, doesn't do anything. Reed tries something, gets smacked by the surfboard. But Sue chokes her up like it's nothing, tosses her away like a toy. The Silver Surfer. But we're talking about what Sue's capable of. Very end of the movie. They can't do anything to Galactus. It's Galactus. They try their absolute best, but it's Galactus, guys. The Fantastic Four stood no chance, but once again, just like when Silver Surfer was washing the team and Sue locked in, Galactus washed the team and Sue locked in. She saw that no matter how many tricks they tried to play on Galactus, he kept finding exactly where Franklin Richards was, and when he got him, she was having none of it. She gets up from the debris, clenches her jaw, and locks all the way in. She solos Galactus by herself, nearly defeats him single-handedly, and she pushes herself so hard to do this that she dies. And I'm not even on some fake out shit, she actually dies on screen. She is later resurrected, of course, because most of you know by now, Franklin Richards is essentially a limitless god, so he can do whatever he wants. But she does die, nearly defeating Galactus. How he's actually defeated is once he is pushed into the wormhole, he starts to come out a little bit, and the Human Torch is going to try and sacrifice himself and be the last big push to send him where he needs to go. But right before he does this, Silver Surfer jumps in, and she's the one that pushes him into the wormhole, sacrificing herself. What I was referencing earlier, while I say she completely vanishes after Johnny emotionally overwhelms her, and only comes back here and now, in like the last 5 minutes to do the sacrifice play. And it's not even just how OP Sue was in the movie, because she's got other scenes too, like when she's getting angry at Reed because of the way he thinks, when she comes out when all the people are saying that they want her baby because they know by giving the baby to Galactus they're all safe. She walks out solo, by the way, with the baby to let them know, I'm not giving my baby to Galactus for the planet, but I am not sacrificing the planet for my baby. He's my family and so are you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, got teary-eyed a little bit. It was a great speech. She was a great character. She was the absolute MVP of this movie. And if we're talking about underutilized, I don't think that goes to Silver Surfer. I think that goes to The Thing, Ben Grimm. And I don't necessarily blame them. There's not really much for him to do here. Silver Surfer is too strong, Galactus is too strong, so all we really get is some really cool heartwarming scenes. He's really tight with Sue, he helps some kids laugh when he picks up a car, he's got a love interest that looks like we're gonna get more of, maybe at some point, and he does help in the fight. He does try to help Sue overpower Galactus. He even helps distract Galactus a little bit, but it's Galactus, I can't blame Ben. It just feels like because he was so outmatched and his power set isn't exactly versatile, there just wasn't much for him to do. But I did like him overall, it was a great portrayal, and I did like that it wasn't super depressing seeing him. Like I said, everyone seemed to really like him and he's not treated like a monster. Low-key, I think they're gonna do that when he shows up in the MCU, like we saw in the end credit scene of Thunderbolts. I feel like that's the universe that's gonna treat him like crap. I hope not, but this universe was low-key pretty perfect, and the MCU is far from it. And I'm sure people had their doubts when it came to Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic, but I think he did a fantastic job. I mean, they tackle a lot of aspects of the character perfectly. First of all, his relationship with the family is great, but I also like that they tackle something that gets Reed into a lot of trouble in the comics, as he thinks of every possibility before it comes to emotion, before it comes to anything. Like there's a scene at the dinner table where he's talking about that the available option is to just sacrifice their son. He's obviously not saying that they should, he's just saying that it's the most logical and available option, so he understands why the people hate the Fantastic Four. But this obviously pisses off Sue, as they get into a bit of an argument and he tries to explain to her how his brain works. He thinks of the worst possibilities so that he can think of a way to counter it, but he's always letting the worst things into his mind, and sometimes it just gets in the way of what he should say and what he should do. And his mind is a topic of conversation for a lot of the movie, as he's not really stretching that much, but he thinks of some really good plans on the fly. I think they showed Mr. Fantastic, being the smartest dude in Marvel really well. Like, they had a very small amount of time to stop Galactus, and he came up with one plan that I thought was perfect, which was teleport the planet away, only for Silver Surfer to immediately destroy that plan. And I thought it was over, only for him to immediately come up with another plan after hearing Sue's speech to the people, where he realizes they could just teleport Galactus away. Hell, even when he struggles to figure something out, we see how uncomfortable and frustrated it makes him as a character. He gets antsy when he can't get the answers, when there's just something he doesn't know. But we also saw the father and the family man. We saw all sides of Reed Richards, and I still don't think he should be the leader of the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday. That's what I'm hearing, that he'll be like leading the MCU, he'll be leading the Avengers. Just doesn't seem right to me, and maybe we'll see if he cooks. I think Captain America should be the leader of the Avengers. It's kind of his thing, but we'll see. Either way, I really enjoyed the movie. First half, when it started to drag, I was telling myself, Superman was better. But once you get the full movie and all the scenes together, I think I might have enjoyed this just a little more. I'd probably give it around the same score, 7.5, 8. Overall, they are both really good movies, and for once, DC and Marvel are cooking. And before we get out of here, I'd like to talk a little bit about the end credit scene, because I'm sure you guys have seen it. People love spoiling movies. Doctor Doom has made his first appearance in the MCU. I guess technically it's whatever that universe is, but you know what I'm saying. He has shown up, and we see that Franklin Richards is touching his face as his mask is off and his back is turned away from Sue. So I think it's pretty obvious based on Franklin Richards' healing powers, he's probably healing the scars on his face, and next time we see Doctor Doom, he'll just have Robert Downey Jr.'s normal face. And he'll probably owe a debt of gratitude to the kid, which is why he probably won't really try and destroy the Fantastic Four. Just my opinion. I think he might be lenient on them because of what Franklin did for him. But either way, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I would love to know if you guys enjoyed Fantastic Four, what you liked, what you hated, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.